Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the cabin.
It's no use complaining about it. You can't leave. So minus 40 is what you're stuck with. Morning, everybody. It is minus 40.0 in Studio One. Well, not in Studio One. I mean, it is pretty nippy these days in Studio One, but it's minus 40 outside. Morning, Lecter.
It's not bad today. You're in a t-shirt. I'm like, in my regular midwinter hoodie and extra sweater type attire, but I'm comfortable.
You know what? I can't get the song In the Bleak Midwinter out of my head. You know, it's a bit of a dirge. In the bleak midwinter.
I don't know if I know it.
No, it's pretty sure it's British, and I'm pretty sure it was written by people who have no concept of what they're talking about.
No.
Every time
they don't know bleak.
No. I was like, it was written by someone when it was 4 degrees. Oh, it's bleak midwinter out there. Look, I almost saw snow.
You know, there is something bleak about that, though, because, like, it's not like you can do anything fun in minus 4 weather in Britain. Like, it's minus 4 there is as not good as minus 40 here. But minus 40 brings, like, a sense of gratitude for when it's not minus 40.
It was really in the dull midwinter, not a lot to do. Yep. Yep. Welcome to British winter, which is just British summer, but slightly grayer and mildly colder.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Bit wetter.
So aren't you excited to wake up this morning and discover that you live in a part of the world where it gets to minus 40 and you can hop and skip right outside that door and think, you know what, I live in exciting times.
It's a dry cold.
It's a dry cold.
It's a dry cold.
I do love that. No, it's okay. You won't die immediately. Great. It takes at least 2 minutes for real frostbite to set in. Welcome along, everybody.
Mornings at the cabin. The podcast.
Start the car now. Doesn't matter when you intend leaving the building. You're going to want to give it a good hour or so. It's minus 40 outside. It is 17 minutes past 7 on December the 16th. 9 days until Christmas. Well, 8 days and a bit, really. That's very exciting. Lecter's in the studio with me. We also have Cabin Radio Sarah Sibley. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Welcome along. So in the spirit of the fact that it is jeffing cold outside, let's discuss you and Megan Brackenbury, also of this parish, have been discussing how to go about sort of creating maybe a little video or something just to represent cold weather activities. Now, what do you mean by that? What are we looking at so far? These are like iconic Yellowknife cold things to do. What have you got?
Yeah, so Sarah Price started the idea yesterday, and Meg and I have kind of been feeding on it, trying to find different things to do. So yesterday, after my shift, I ventured out to the Independent and picked up some ramen noodles, because apparently that's a big thing where you cook the ramen noodles with the very, very boiling hot water, and then you go outside and see how long it takes them to freeze to your fork or chopsticks or whatever you're using, and then you take them out, and apparently they just like kind of stay still.
Yep, and the trick, the big one that I think went... Who was it? I feel like it was a friend of Cabin Radio. Was it Jessica Wang, someone like that? There was someone in Yellowknife who did this a couple of years ago, and it went world viral. It ended up front page of Reddit with the chopsticks balanced in the noodles.
Oh,
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been her.
I think it might have been Jessica Wang.
Yeah. And they managed to get the chopsticks to balance, be held up by frozen noodles, and it went, that went globally viral.
Yeah.
So you got a high bar there, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you can pull off. Okay.
Maybe we'll put it on our TikTok account and see if that can
launch
us off.
Because you know what? There wasn't really TikTok back then, so TikTok is virgin territory for this jazz.
Well, minus 40 today, minus 52 with the wind chill. I think you could do it.
This is the day to use
Perfect
your noodle.
Conditions for literally nothing else but that.
You don't think it's too warm?
I don't know,
No, I'm going to go...
High of minus 35. I don't know.
High of minus 35. oh, Yellowknife. So yeah, today is definitely the day for that. That's exciting. Okay, so that's one.
Are you planning on then tossing the water in the air and watching it vaporize before your very eyes?
We were planning on doing that. We were hoping to go up to the Bush Pilots Monument and do it up there so we have a nice view and we can throw it and see it turn into like steam, I guess you'd say. I don't really know. What would you call that?
Everybody's looking at me like I should somehow be able to tell. What does the British guy think's happening there? You've beaten me. I mean, I'm assuming we're all dead by now, aren't we? It's minus 40, guys.
It was fun back in the days when we had tourists here in Yellowknife, and
I remember that.
Yeah, you'd go on the if you went for like a lunch hour ski on the Frame Lake Trail, you'd go around, and inevitably there would be some group of tourists doing the water toss into the air. It was like a daily thing because it was, it's just so cool for some people that have never experienced weather like this. And they actually get to enjoy it. We're just like, oh, it's another day of minus 35.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying this.
You see, what would make it even better is if the water toss was, unreliable.
Yes.
So that if physics just allowed that 1 in every 10, it stays as hot water.
Or it just becomes a brick immediately.
Yeah.
Thunk.
And it's just a roll of the dice. And 9 out of 10 tourists are there throwing the water in the air, poof, into steam. Look at that. That was funny. The 10th one, sploosh.
It's got to be minus 34.3 on the button.
Oh, 34.2. So unlucky. Oh, here's a towel.
You get a break.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing that, and I hear there was talk of a bit of a sort of a warm clothing race.
Yes. Yeah. So I am notoriously horrible for putting on my snowsuit in a fast fashion. So if there's if there's anything happening and I have to run up to cover it, I'm gonna really have to kick it into gear to make sure I can get it on fast. But Megan likes to make fun of me, as she does, because it takes me so long to put it on. So I suggested we all bring our whole snowsuits in and have a race and jump into them and see who can do it the fastest. I can judge that if we'd like.
Now, snowsuit, are you talking the full-on winter onesie? Like from A Christmas Story with the kid who falls down and he can't get up, can't put his arms down. Is that what we're talking here?
I've never seen that movie.
What?
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
So I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Okay.
But I was thinking snow pants, snow boots, winter parka, hats, gloves,
gotcha.
scarves,
So
the whole
just
shebang.
your snow ensemble.
Yeah.
Not just necessarily a one-piece suit sort of thing. Okay. If you ask anyone from the boomer generation, they probably, if they grew up with winter, they remember being in these full-on suits.
Okay.
It was basically like a sleeping bag with fashioned legs and arms.
Okay, I've seen those before. I used to work at a sports store in Ontario, but we only had them for toddlers.
Yes. I mean, I think they mostly were for toddlers, but I think full-on children had these snowsuits back in the day. Yeah. Watch A Christmas Story. I'm putting that on your homework list. So.
Okay. I will get that done.
You'll shoot your eye out. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing to you.
Just a vacant stare over there. Okay, well, we're looking forward to this. So we're going to see at least those 3 things. If you have any more suggestions for Sibs and Brack and the team here to go out and do iconic winter Yellowknife things that'll look good on camera and might be fairly entertaining, then let us know. You can message Mornings at the Cabin on Facebook, and we will pass those on.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Welcome along, everybody. Is Lecter and AJ. Morning, AJ.
Morning.
With myself, yours truly, Ollie, and it is 7:39 on the money, and it is still minus 40 outside. Yesterday, minor shopping-related incident. So I had yesterday off, which was nice. Thank you, everybody, for stepping in there. That was lovely. And I thought I had a few Christmas cards that I've yet to get and send off to people. So I went into Sutherland, which I always enjoy their card selection, and had a lovely browse through Sutherland. Picked up a whole bunch of Christmas cards. That was great. Did a bit of other shopping as well, and then decided, well, you know what? I'm out in town. I might as well maximize my time. I went over to the liquor store and I picked up some stuff as well. I thought I'll stock up for Christmas. Then I won't even need to leave the house.
Their card selection.
Smart.
Their card selection is a little, most of it seems to revolve around the identity of the person, and are they over a certain age, and have they washed their hands, and have they used hand sanitizer, which seemed a bit extreme. Yeah. So I didn't pick up many cards at the liquor store, but I did stock up, on beverages. Thought, if I just get this done now, then that'll be great, because between December the 24th and January the 4th, I won't need to leave the house.
I like that you still make a point of sending Christmas cards to people. That's charming.
Well, you see, it hasn't happened yet. It may never happen.
Well, yeah, they might get there by January 3rd.
Well, certainly for the UK destined ones, there is an element of there is a suggestion that this could have happened earlier.
Happy February.
Yeah, all right. Listen,
you're well into the new year.
I celebrate. Isn't the Ukrainian Christmas that's in January sometime, isn't it? I'm just gonna close enough. It's European.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Chinese New Year.
So I got the Christmas cards, popped them into my backpack as well, got home, and one of the beers had exploded. And now I have to decide,
oh no,
do I send Christmas cards that smell of beer? And what message does that send?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because they're all pretty rescuable once they've dried out.
Right.
Yeah, none of them were too beyond the pale.
Right.
Sure.
But
the aroma.
But I think the aroma's got to stick.
Beyond the pale ale.
Well done.
And so now I am left with this quandary of how socially acceptable is it to send a Christmas card whose only fault is that it reeks, some might say,
Right.
of stale ale.
And that's only going to get worse.
And it's probably only going to get worse. Although I did wonder, like, maybe if I'm sending these some distance, will time and distance heal this? You know, if it's in with all the other mail and everything like that, will some of the smell rub off, and will it eventually arrive just smelling pristine again, as though it's just had a wash and brush up and isn't a functioning alcoholic at all?
They do say time heals all. So maybe.
Not in this case, though.
I think what I would do is just spritz a little cologne, or if you have some deodorant, or something, just a little bit, and then put
some
on
mouthwash, maybe? Yeah.
Just so you're reminded of me, you know? Make it heartfelt.
Okay.
Beer and cologne.
Nice. Maybe
Remember me?
Get it to chew some gum.
Yeah,
and then let it just style it out. Okay.
See, that's personal.
Yeah.
I think that's from the heart.
Get a little body odor on there. Just the work.
Put it under your arms a little bit.
Every unfortunate smell in one Christmas card.
A little pickled herring, if you can.
Great. Hey, you stay off the herring.
Maybe light a cigarette, just waft it underneath for a bit, you know.
Great. Yeah, this is why I was questioning this. I just wondered if it might send the wrong message to the loved ones I'm looking to communicate with this Christmas.
They're going to be so concerned about you.
Right?
I think Ollie's not doing well.
Yeah.
He smells, and I think he smokes now.
Merry Christmas, everybody. So, you know, might just have to go back and buy some new Christmas cards.
Yeah.
I felt very sad about that. There were some lovely Christmas cards as well. I put a lot of thought into it, and then, no. I mean, I also put a lot of thought into this like 3 weeks later than I should have done, but that's
just buy the same ones.
Par for the course. Yeah, but now I've got it. Yeah, I suppose I could. Is it okay? Now, new question. Is it okay to take all the old sort of beer-drenched ones and go back into the store and just be holding them up against the rack and picking out new ones? People would be like, what happened to this guy? He smells of beer. He's like buying 2 of everything.
Just look at him and say, I had a day off.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, okay.
I had a day off, and it went about how you'd expect.
Anything
Considering all that, man, you came in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what it is this morning, but I woke up at 5:45, and boy, was I ever ready to come back to work.
Oh, yeah.
One day off, and it was pretty much, I think I maybe answered 2 or 3 work emails yesterday, but otherwise, I let everybody else figure things out, and I'm very grateful to everybody for that. Yeah, I came in this morning and pretty much turfed Lecter out of the chair in Studio One and said, you know what, I'm ready.
Me right out of there.
That's the first thing he said when I came in here.
Oh, yeah.
Said, Ollie kicked me out. And I went, well, all right.
I mean, I do very briefly. We got maybe another minute or two here. I do want to touch on the fact that we each had a very interesting yesterday in our own special ways. AJ, you had to wait till quite late for your real chance to shine last night, but you enjoyed soccer, kind of, sort of.
Yes, I enjoy soccer. I'm subbing for the team right now, so I'm not actually on the team. But when they need me, I get called up.
Right.
So we're playing JTFN at 10 o'clock at night. So obviously, that's when you need players because no one wants to go to it.
No.
So I was like, okay, yep. So I went, and it was a great game. I had a lot of fun. Team was good. We won. All in all, it was great. I did lose my temper at one stage, but I lose my temper in a bit of a different way in sports. I don't really get angry at other people or the ref. Like I have quite a calm demeanor when I'm playing sports.
I doubt this,
but I have this. I don't know how to say it. Almost like a paternal instinct to coach and guide my friends to be better.
Yeah.
And one of our fellow teammates, well, it could have been doing better. Could have been reaching higher, really reaching for the stars in this game.
Right.
And wasn't. And that frustrated me a little bit. So my friend Harji, who's probably listening right now, love him to death, but he's got to shoot that soccer ball. I don't know what to tell you, Ollie. He's got to shoot that soccer ball.
Pull the trigger.
It was
Harji.
driving me insane. So the whole game, I'm getting a little bit frustrated by this. Then this moment comes where he should have shot that ball, and I'm yelling at him, you got to shoot. And then he passes me the perfect ball, and I shot it, and I scored.
Yeah.
Then I turned and made a point to yell at him again to make sure that he knows that he should have shot that ball, regardless of the situation.
That should have been his goal, not yours.
Regardless if I scored or not.
Right.
He needs to learn.
So your goal celebration on a rec soccer team on 10:30 at night in Yellowknife on a Tuesday, your goal celebration was to turn around and continue hectoring a colleague for not being better.
Loudly. Very loudly.
Right.
To the point where I made the other team uncomfortable because they didn't really know what was going on. they assumed that sort of aggression would be coming towards them.
Arms gesticulating wildly.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
It was bad. Oh, yeah. Very Italian messaging I gave him. A lot of hand talking. But yeah, that's how I yell in sports. I yell at my teammates to make them better.
You're a pusher.
I'm a pusher.
You push people.
Yeah, I'm a teacher by nature.
Those teammates are all going to smell a beer this Christmas as well, as a result.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Mornings at the Cabin, brought to you by Aurora Ford, driving the North. This is Ollie, Lecter, and AJ with you. It's exciting and happy to be with you. See, I'm just trying to put enthusiasm into this, because, yeah, it's minus 40 outside. And, yeah, you still got to go to work for, like, I don't know, some of you another week and a bit. If you're the GNWT, are you on Christmas already? You're probably already done, aren't you? Who knows? But, you know, welcome along anyway. We're going to power through this. We're going to be, well, we're not going to let AJ talk. I'm going to fade him back down because he's angry this morning. But Lecter and I, we're just going to power through this with nothing but relentless happiness and vim.
It's my fault. I got him all fired up.
He is all fired up.
Yeah.
What were you all fired up about then?
I don't even know.
Okay, good. Yeah, never mind.
I'm just tired and grumpy.
All right. Well, you know what? You had a late game last night. It's okay. Yeah. Well, I know how that feels. I do want to give a shout out this morning to friend of the cabin, Mermaid and Moon entrepreneur Meredith McNulty, who moved house yesterday, and I think joined an exclusive club of people who have moved house in less than minus 35.
Oof. Wow.
It's an elite group.
Yeah. I think there can only be in the... I've decided it's a 4-figure number of people who are alive and have moved house in below minus 35. I think that is an exclusive club because, of course, if you can avoid that, you probably would.
Yes.
Right? Like, if it's within your power to just, we'll stay another 6 months. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You sort of, like, you shoot for, like, April onwards in terms of moving house. You maybe draw a line in October.
Yeah.
And say, after that,
Or you have there's a nice week in the winter, that's like minus 15. You're like, oh, now's a good time to do it.
Go.
And you're like, oh, got a little tied up. We'll just do it next week.
Yeah.
Boom, minus 45.
That's where you really find out who your friends are.
Oh, no kidding. And I believe one friend turned up to help Meredith last night, and they got a meal at the Woodyard out of it.
Oh, there you go.
Because, you got to treat that person well. If someone turns up, to move a mattress through downtown in minus 37 to get it to the new place, that you've got to be...
Yeah, good way to get a meal.
It's easy to be person with truck in mid-June, July, and helping out your buddy. And, I'll go, I guess I'll take some pizza and beer as payment. Sure. Okay, if I must. But in mid-December?
Yep.
I take offense to that.
Person with truck.
Okay. I still have to go out of my way as the resident guy with truck.
Yeah.
I still got to go out of my way in June.
Yeah, well, but it's a lot easier to go out of your way in plus 20.
That's true. Talk about being grumpy. Watch me move house in minus 40.
Oh, yeah.
Because someone asked me to come help them. I'm like, all right, well, we're going to do this as efficiently as possible. And if you drag your feet... I'm going to be very upset.
This truck is out of here.
Get everything in the truck, get everything out of the truck. That's the rules.
Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine the thought of having to... I mean, obviously the packing up, same temperature, whatever, in the house, but then you got to get it all out. You got to go, and like you say, everything about moving house is stressful anyway. Doing it at that sort of temperature, you're relying on having an incredibly well-connected psychic link to whoever you're doing it with, because if they're doing it not the way you were hoping this would go, even though they're helping you, there's going to have to be some there's going to have to be some restraint exercise.
You're getting me riled up again.
Why didn't we have a camera in the vicinity when you were helping Jesse move?
Oh, man. Actually, you know what? It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Jesse was great.
Oh.
Jesse was great.
It was that Phoenix.
It was Phoenix, and you know how she gets. You know how she gets. The loveliest person on the world.
You would think she'd be quite good at choreographing it.
Yeah. Just dance our direction out of this house.
That's right. Yeah.
But the couch itself was a nightmare. It was one of these houses that had like a twisting staircase right at the front door. Right. So you open the door and that's the staircase. So we had to go in, and then we hit the wall a few times.
Pivot.
We had to
pivot.
Hard pivot. And then remove the legs. Further pivot. Back out the door. Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, you're doing that in minus 37? Someone's gonna lose a friend for life.
That's when you lose Jesse.
Oh, luckily it was the door off the hinges because it doesn't quite fit out.
I think we might have. Yeah, we looked at that idea too.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Ooh.
It's tough.
Thank God that was in summer, right?
It was in summer, yeah. And I think about the
imagine.
winter is things break.
Yes.
right? Like if you strap things down, or if it's plastic, you put it in the truck. When you go to take it out, if you bump it or something like that, it just shatters into a million pieces.
Yep.
So you're already upset because you're freezing cold and moving house, and then now all your stuff's breaking.
And then your spirit's broken.
Now your spirit's broken.
Yeah,
Just
it all falls apart.
Sweeping up the little shards of someone's life into a dustpan and be like, here, helps you move. Tinkle, 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 just pouring them into the hallway.
Do you have a box for this?
Yeah.
Want to go to the woodyard or?
We good? Just going to scrape the rest of your possessions into this urn. And there you go. You can enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little memento.
Yeah, here's your good day in dust.
So a shout out to you if you are moving this week or maybe next week in the depths, the absolute full-on depths of a northern winter. Good luck to you.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Delo or no Delo, brought to you by Erasmus Apparel, who this week have an instant classic pair of Erasmus Apparel socks to give away. We gave away the polar bear socks last week. They were pretty special. These socks, I would argue, maybe even nicer than last week's socks. And when do you need socks? To put in Christmas stockings. That's when you need socks. So we are here to deliver socks to you. All you have to do to win Delo or no Delo is take a look at the Cabin Radio Facebook page right now. You will see a photo of myself and Jesse Wheeler taken at some time in the last few months. There's a little bit of snow on the ground. It wasn't maybe in quite the depths of winter we're in now, but there was some snow on the ground. You will see that Mr. Wheeler looking pretty wintry. I'm maybe looking a little more summery. I was obviously coping a little better with the cold that day. And all you got to do is look at that photo and decide, are we in Delo or are we not in Delo? And then comment your answer. Lecter, take a little look. What are you seeing there?
I think I know where it is.
Oh, yeah?
I think I got this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple of tiny, tiny visual clues.
Yes.
If you look long enough.
I just noticed one of the biggest giveaways.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to point it out.
I don't think you do.
Okay. This could be like an exercise of like listeners. How much do you trust Lecter? Do you think he knows what he's talking about? Do you think he's out to lunch? Because if he gives you the answer, are you inclined to just go with the opposite one?
Interesting.
It's
Reverse psychology.
not the worst idea given my track record.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember. Didn't you get the last one right?
Probably not.
Oh, no, you didn't. Never mind. Yeah, good
I
point.
didn't. No, I didn't make a guess on the last one, and then I tried.
Oh, because Wheeler had already ruined it. Yeah, I remember this now. Yes,
And
Wheeler had already given the answer away.
The last one was Delo,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to guess where in Delo it was taken. I thought I had an idea, but I have no idea.
Okay.
But this one I think I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't see what you're talking about.
No?
Visual cues? It's just a bunch of trees.
It's, look lower.
Mm-hmm.
The small tree?
Look right there. Just the
Oh.
sliver at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of the,
I thought
the picture
that
there.
was Jesse's pajama pants.
See, that's what I thought at first, and then I looked again, and I was like, is he like resting on like a paddle board or something? And then I noticed a few more details in it. I was like, oh, okay, no, I know what that is.
And that is the big clue.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you see that, that should lead you to some sort of conclusion. You may not know exactly where we are, but I think a lot of people, if you've been where we are, you will immediately know once you see that.
Yeah.
I'm still baffled.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. This Delo or no Delo has legs, everybody. That's what we like to hear. So it's a pretty simple way to enter. You've got until tomorrow morning, the start of the show tomorrow, to enter. You just got to go look at it, decide if it's Delo or no Delo. You comment your answer on Facebook. You got to share the post as well. And then a pair of Erasmus Apparel socks could be yours. We're going to do the draw live on the air tomorrow morning, and somebody is going to win those there socks. We've already had a bunch of entries. It's split, which is what I like to see.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see a few people go one way, a few people go the other. The last one in particular, last week's one, I think we had something like 50, 60 people enter. Only 18 people got it right. So
Ooh.
Wow.
it's always exciting. It's not often we put one out there where only a handful of people are correct.
It's a little tip of the hat to you, my man.
We'll see.
You're stumping people.
I think a lot of people are going to get this one.
I think
They study it for any length of time.
once they realize those are not pajama pants,
Yeah.
I think that's going to make a big difference.
I'm not convinced they're not pajama pants.
I wish they were.
There's also a little Easter egg in the reflection of Jesse's glasses. I don't think they give anything away about the picture, but just in the his right lens, you can just see the legs of whoever is taking the photo.
Ooh, do we get bonus points if you can figure out who the photographer is?
You know what? That would be hilarious. Delo or no Delo, and who took this photo? in this rather long-winded contest. Yeah, bonus points available. You get a third sock if you get it right.
Because you know you're going to lose one.
We'll throw in one extra sock.
That dryer is going to eat one up, and you know what's going to happen.
That's right.
Well, dryers deserve a Christmas too.
Yeah.
You know?
That's nice.
You put a stocking in the dryer, you go in, the next morning the stocking's gone. Yeah, I definitely put it in here. Where is it?
Santa's bin.
It's gone. Oh, and the cookies and milk. This dryer. All right, that'll do it for Mornings at the Cabin today. Thank you very much to Lecter. Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Sibs for starring a little bit earlier on. Thank you to you for listening. The 90s at 9 follows the news. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.